Just talk us through what is the latest in the city of Kherson.
Yeah, in Kherson, down in the southwest, there are a couple of things happening there. One is that the little spit of land there, that little strip of land you can see opposite the coast, that's the Kinburn Peninsula. The Ukrainians say they've almost taken that. And that's important, although it's very sandy, very watery. It gives them control over the estuary of the Bug River and the Dnipro River, which controls the ability of Kherson and also Mykolaiv up the Bug River to act as ports. So it opens up the coast for them there, if they can take that little strip of land, and they say they almost have. Whether they can do anything else with it, in terms of getting more troops onto it to move into Russian positions, that's a different issue. But for now, they're doing pretty well there. The city itself, there's still artillery duels going on that we've talked about for the last few days, either side of the river. And sensibly enough now, a lot of people in Kherson are moving out, at least for a while. The last 24 hours, there's been a queue of cars to get out. They're just moving out. Probably many of them, I would guess, to Mykolaiv. But for at least 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe more, they need to get out of the city because the city will be subject to quite a big bombardment.
Yeah, interesting. A lot of fighting as well that has moved to the Donbas region. Why is that?
Yeah, this is really ferocious. The main areas, Svatove and Kremena, up there in the north, that's the two main areas. And in between those two places, there are lots of attacks and counterattacks. So the Ukrainians have put in a big counterattack at Karabizhnivka. They've got quite a big salient, and the Russians have got their own salient just south of that at Novodyan. And so in a way, they're almost overlapping each other. They're fighting ferociously for that area. And meanwhile, further south of Bakhmut, they've been attacking Bakhmut now for 4 or 5 weeks. And even if Bakhmut falls, if the Russians lose Kremena, it won't do them any good to take Bakhmut. So we keep asking ourselves, why? Why is it so ferocious? Because the Wagner group, the mercenary group who work for the Russians, have taken on Bakhmut as their target. And this is all because they're also trying to make a political point that we can win at Bakhmut. And the leader of the Wagner group now is a man called Yevgeny Prigozhin. And Prigozhin has said in the last couple of weeks, he says, we're using Bakhmut as a meat grinder to pull in Ukrainian troops and kill them. And of course, that's the exact opposite of what is happening, because the Russians are losing so many troops at Bakhmut. And it's all to do with the Wagner group's ambition to take one city that they can show to the Kremlin is our victory. You can't win victories anywhere else. We, the Wagner group, we win a victory at Bakhmut.
It's a frightening insight, isn't it, to the mentality of the Wagner group?
It is. And Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner group, is a very, I was going to say interesting man. I mean, he's a criminal. He's been done 9 years in prison himself for robbery. He set up the Wagner group a while ago. And the Wagner group works in Africa and Syria. He admitted on the 7th of this month that, yes, of course, they interfered in the American elections in 2016 and 2018. And the Wagner group recruit people from the prisons. And so we've got video of him in September of this year at the Mary El prison, east of Moscow. And he makes a speech to the convicts there. All these convicts are there for murder or violence, so they're there for a very long time. And he makes a speech that sounds like something straight out of the film The Dirty Dozen, you know, the old Hollywood film. He says, only God can get you out of this prison in a coffin, but I can get you out today. If you sign up with me, we will feed you, we will train you, and then we'll put you on the front lines. And if you retreat or you disobey an order, we'll shoot you, out of hand, no questions asked. And if you're still alive at the end of 6 months, you're free. You're free to go. And that's the offer he's made, and more than 20,000 convicts have signed up and are now fighting with the Wagner group. And they are dying in high numbers in Bakhmut.
Frightening stuff. OK, Michael, I think we'll see you again next hour. But for now, thank you.